to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman, and I'm so excited you're with us today. We're here to empower you, your friends, your family, and your loved ones to be healthy and well naturally. And the one thing that I absolutely love about health is that you were made to be well, that you were made to function at a high level of health and vitality so that you can be the best you ever. And in today's world, so many people not only want to be well, but they've bought into the concept and the belief that there's sickness, illnesses, and diseases, that the body was made to be ill, that that is just the normal way and path of life and health. The reality is the body is so smart and intelligent, it was made to be well naturally. See, you were born to be healthy. The main system that was created when you were conceived is called the central nervous system. It's so smart, intelligent, and powerful that it literally controls every single organ, tissue, and cell in the body, sends signals out to the organs, tissues, and cells, up to the brain, to the body, and back again, for healing, coordination, adaptation, and for the ability to be the best it can possibly be. It also has protection, which is your spine. It's literally 24 movable vertebrae, one on top of the next, so that your body has that ability for protection, so the nervous system can be sure that it is protected throughout its lifetime. It also is structural stability. And the one thing that I want you to start to realize is that you live your life through your central nervous system. That's where all healing is occurring. That's where all the signals and the communications to every single organ, tissue, and cell are occurring too. And the one thing that's amazing is that you were made to be well. And today we're going to be talking to one of the most amazing chiropractors in the world. And I've got to tell you, he's a pretty amazing chiropractor. His name is Dr. Fabrizio Mancini. And at the end of the day, I'm feeling very blessed to not only have him on our show this morning, but I know that he is going to have a power-packed session of information that will flat out change and save not only your health, your life, but your children and family's health as well. He is one of these chiropractors, one of these leaders in our profession that not only is so smart and intelligent, but he has this message that rings true to the world. He's been on the Dr. Phil show. He's one of the best-selling authors. And I've got to tell you, he also was president emeritus of the Parker University. And he made such amazing changes within that school that it's helped so many chiropractors be the best they can be. And when that occurs, that affects, it's a trickle-down effect of affecting every single man, woman, and child throughout this earth. And at the end of the day, he's such an amazing man. I can't wait for you to hear him. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Dr. Fabrizio Mancini is going to not only light up this world, but also empower you to be healthy and well naturally.
Christman Family Chiropractic, a creating wellness center located at 2310 Churchville Road, Suite C in Bel Air, is enhancing lives through the power of a chiropractic adjustment. As a licensed chiropractor in Maryland and Pennsylvania, Dr. Evan Christman can correct damage from years of lifestyle stresses while educating you to maintain good health for your lifetime. A dedicated professional with a very special focus on children with learning differences and autism, Dr. Christman treats people of all ages, newborn babies, children, pregnant women, families, seniors, and professional golfers. Isn't it time for you to reclaim your life? Take your first step toward health and vitality today. Call Christman Family Chiropractic, a creating wellness center at 410-734-4060 and let their experienced staff show you how to restore the flow of life. 410-734-4060 or check them out at restorelifeflow.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman. And I'm so excited you guys are with us today. We're here to empower you, your friends, your family, and your loved ones to be healthy and well naturally. And today we have one of the most amazing leaders and chiropractors throughout the world. His name is Dr. Fab Mancini. And Dr. Fab, welcome to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm so excited to be having this conversation with you. I'm a big fan, and I appreciate so much that you are continuing to inspire us and remind us that our bodies can really heal from inside out.
Well, thank you so much. Dr. Fab is such an amazing chiropractor. He was president emeritus of Parker University. He also has a best-selling book, The Power of Self-Healing. He is on some amazing, not only talk shows, radio stations, interviews, and he's one of these chiropractors, I call him a leader, that not only empowers chiropractors, but he empowers the world. Because I believe when you empower one person to be absolutely amazing to learn, to understand how beautiful the body is. They have that spot, that fire, that spark to empower other people. Tell me, Dr. Fab, how did you become the person that you are? How did you become that leader that empowers others to do amazing things in their lives?
Well, it all started when I was 17 years old. I had a dream that I wanted to be a doctor. And then I went to the University of Dallas for pre-med, which was one of the most prestigious pre-med programs in the South. And as I was finishing pre-medicine, I had already decided pretty much I was going to be a neurosurgeon, and I was going to go to medical school and then pursue that. And then right before I finished school in pre-med, I was involved in a severe car accident, and the ambulance took me to Parkland Hospital, which is our biggest hospital here in Dallas, Texas. And I had worked as a volunteer in that hospital, and I met many of the doctors. So I asked if I could see one of my friends that was an orthopedic surgeon, and I said, listen, I cannot move my neck. I'm in so much pain. Can you help me? And he said, you know, Fab, I can really help you by giving you medications to reduce your inflammation or perhaps maybe help you with your pain, but really you should go see my chiropractor.
Wow.
And I never heard the word chiropractic before, so to me I thought it was just a specialty of medicine. And when I went to that chiropractor's office that afternoon, I met some of the patients that were there, and there were people there that were having back pain and some neck pain. There was a lady that was having infertility issues. There was a boy that was having asthma. And I was saying to myself, how can one healthcare provider help so many people? And they just mentioned all these specialties, and that's when I learned that the body is a healing organism, that the body is designed to heal itself, and that the nervous system is the most important system of the body. And when you can free that interference to that nervous system, then your body has a greater ability to heal. And that's why a lot of people sometimes are saying, well, my medicine is not helping me, or this surgery really didn't get the results that I wanted. Well, maybe it's because the cause of your problem is not a lack of chemistry, or perhaps it wasn't even the fact that you needed to remove a body part. It was the fact that your nervous system was not working properly. And a doctor of chiropractic, that's what we do. We are the experts of that, and that's how we're helping people for so many years in a natural way restore their health. But it changed my life, and it introduced me to this concept of natural healing, and that's where I've been for the last 25 years, helping thousands of people regain their health and stay well through natural means and the chiropractic adjustment.
You know, I love that, and that's so powerful. And one of the things that rings true in my head when I'm hearing you speak, you know, I'm imagining that woman out there that has having symptoms and has had them for a long period of time, or that man that, you know, as I always hear it in the exam room, they're just trudging through health and life. They're just dealing with things. And they're masking their symptoms with pills, powders, lotions, drugs, shots, or surgeries. Or those children. You know, my husband takes care of children with learning differences and autism in families of all ages. And at the end of the day, and as you know, the CDC states that 1 in 50 children right now has autism. So one of the things that I always think about, we're being taught as a society that symptoms are what we should be chasing after. And with that, that creates such a belief system of disempowerment with our health. How can we not only begin to educate the world on how beautiful that body is, but I've got to tell you, I'm certain that there are people that you've seen in your life and time of being a chiropractor that you've seen amazing changes occur in their health. You know, who are those people for you, and what changes did they see?
Well, the first thing to understand is that symptoms are friends. You know, our symptoms, our pain, is really the best friend that we have, because that's the body's ability or way of communicating to us, hey, listen, there's a problem here. And it's similar to like having a smoke alarm, right? You have a smoke alarm in your house, and when the noise of the smoke alarm is actually sounding, it can be very annoying, and you probably just want to make it stop, but it's actually telling you that there's some smoke and maybe a potential fire behind it. And you can go ahead and yank the alarm out of the ceiling. You can actually take the batteries out. You can do all you want to stop that sound, but it's not going to change in any way the smoke in the room and perhaps the potential fire behind it. And the pain is just like the alarm system. It's just letting us know that there's a potential problem that you need to address. And what we're finding is that most of us just want to make that pain go away, but it's not helping us. in any possible way. So let me give you the example of one of my patients. Her name is Rosie, and Rosie was 350 pounds, and she had conditions like fibromyalgia, reflex sympathetic syndrome, and many others that were very severe pain. And for 27 years, she had been suffering like this. And the last 3 years, she had to quit her job because she couldn't perform. She was taking about 17 pills a day, and that's why she gained so much weight. And she was sleeping an average of 2 hours a night.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, she came into my office just because she heard that maybe chiropractic could be a solution. And I do like I do with most of my patients, and that is we let them know that we're only accept them as a patient if we find that there could be a potential nerve interference. And if that's the case, we know that our track record is that over 80% of the chiropractic patients get well. So we accepted her as a patient. We began to work with her very gently. She began to have results. Within 6 months, about 50% of her symptoms were gone. Within a year, about 100% of her symptoms were gone. I mean, she was almost completely well.
Wow.
And she called me years later to say, Dr. Mancini, I want to thank you. And I said, well, Rosie, you've already thanked me, and you referred so many patients to my office. He said, no, Dr. Mancini, what you don't realize is that when you first met me, I told you that my husband was going to leave me. And then now my husband and I have the best relationship in the world, and he's also a chiropractic patient. Wow. Dr. Mancini, you knew that my children hated me because I wasn't the mother that I wanted to be. I was not there for my children. And now my children and I love each other because I'm healthy again. Dr. Mancini, I've lost 150 pounds. I feel better than ever. I'm working again. But Dr. Mancini, what I didn't tell you is that 2 weeks before I went to your office, I had bought a gun, and I had already decided to commit suicide and kill myself if there was no hope for me because I was tired of living in this much pain.
Oh,
I wanted to call you today to thank you for saving my life. And there's a lot of Rosies out there that are suffering, and they just don't know that chiropractic may just be what they're praying for and what they're hoping for.
Wow. And isn't that the truth? God, I mean, I sit here and I hear this. I hear Rosie's story, and there are thousands of Rosies out there. They don't know what chiropractic can do. That's why I greatly value not only this information, but there are thousands of listeners out there listening to this message right now. And you all may know a Rosie. You may be Rosie. And it's time for you to not only simply show up in that chiropractor's office, but to simply get checked. Many people will focus on, but I'm eating well, I'm exercising. They're missing that main component of their health. There's something called the vital needs. And the first vital need in health, which we oftentimes confuse with the main and the most important, is food. The reality is, and it's just simply an average, but it's about 40 days before you can go without food where you would pass away. The next vital need would be water. You can go they say about 4 days without water, give or take, before your body would pass away. The next vital need would be oxygen. And you talked about that smoke detector, that smoke alarm. My dad's a volunteer fireman of 57 years now at Joppa Magnolia in our county. And when he shows up at a car accident, one of the first things that he doesn't go up to you and say, did you eat today? Did you drink a lot of water? No, he checks for, are you breathing, for oxygen. And the most important vital need in your health and in your life, it was the first organ created when you were conceived, is your central nervous system. Literally, without that nerve system connection, lights are out, it's over with. And I've got to tell you, one of the most powerful things you can do for your health right now, for you to be the healthiest possible, is to step forward and call your local wellness chiropractor's office. Dr. Mancini, talk to me about an adjustment. Many people are scared, they're confused, they ask their friends, their family, and their neighbors, should I go to a chiropractor? What do you think about a chiropractor? They oftentimes ask their medical doctors. If I had a dime for every time a medical doctor said, don't go there, or, oh my God, don't let them touch your neck, I'd have a lot of money in the bank. So tell me, what is an adjustment, and why is an adjustment so vitally safe and so gratefully important for your body to be healthy and well now, which also sounds to me greatly restored Rosie's life and changed the way she viewed and seed her health and her whole family?
Yes, and Michelle, I want to tell you that for those of you that don't know me very well, I have one of the largest practices in Texas for 10 years, and then I became president of Parker University, which is one of the leading schools of chiropractic in the world, for the last 13 and a half years, and I just became president emeritus this year, so I can go ahead and help educate the world. So I'm doing through television, radio, books, and etc. But the one thing that I find, Michelle, that most people don't realize is how well educated our chiropractors really are. Most people don't realize that an average education for a chiropractor is the same average of education, in fact, the same amount of hours as a general practitioner. We have over 4,000 hours. That means about 8 years of school on average. And, you know, we go ahead and do also, instead of doing a residency, we do what we call an internship. So the last year of our school is all about taking care of patients and making sure that we are fine-tuning our skills to better serve the public. And that we also have specialties within chiropractic. We have chiropractors that go an additional 3 years and they become experts in orthopedics, which is your joints, or they become experts in pediatrics, which is taking care of children, or sports science, which is taking care of athletes. So we have almost the same identical education process, and that's the first thing I want you to know, that when you visit a doctor of chiropractic, you go into a very well-educated individual. The second thing is that chiropractic is probably one of the safest, if not the safest, healthcare provider that you have out there. Our malpractice insurance is the lowest of any healthcare provider because malpractice insurance companies have realized that what we deal with is a natural way of helping restore the health of the body. So we are not giving you medications that may have potential side effects that may cause some harm. Or we're not doing the type of surgeries that may cause complications when you do the surgery. All we do is a very gentle adjustment, primarily in your spine, but also in your joints, to help restore that nervous system function. And it's a very gentle adjustment. And for those of you that are concerned about the sound, most people don't realize that the sound of an adjustment or that cracking noise that most people refer to is a very healthy sound. It's when gas escapes from the fluid in between the joints, which lets us know that now that joint is movable. Because what happens is that most of us are not healthy because our joints, our vertebrae in the spines are kind of stuck. They're not moving properly. They're making our bodies very rigid. And when you give a gentle adjustment, now you're bringing mobility to the body. That frees the nerve expression. So now the brain can communicate to the body can communicate to the brain, and you have the greatest ability to heal of anything else that you can do out there. And trust me, listen, I spent the last 25 years in this profession. I understand traditional medicine, and I have a great appreciation for what it is as far as urgent care. But most of our problems, over 80% of our problems, are not urgent in nature. That means that you don't need to go to a hospital for it. It's not a dying thing. It's everyday problems or chronic illnesses, and chiropractic is one of the best ways for you to be able to help yourself through these illnesses because it's all natural, but it also is a way that the body can restore that health from the inside out.
You know, I've got to tell you, that's amazing, and I firmly believe that that is what this world is looking for. They're looking for a profession, a healing profession, where they not only can naturally be healthy and well naturally right now, but also for their children, for their loved ones. And I've got to tell you, it is such an honor to not only be a part of this profession. You know, I'm a chiropractic assistant registered in the state of Maryland, but to be blessed to have such an amazing husband, and also to have thousands and thousands of chiropractors that are out there that are so incredibly well educated, that are there for you to be healthy and well. And we're going to start to talk about not only Dr. Fab Mancini's amazing book that he wrote, The Power of Self-Healing, but I know there's some golden nuggets in there, and he's also going to be giving an absolutely amazing free offer and gift that can flat out not only empower you and educate you, but may save your life and your health. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I can't wait for you to learn even more great information about yourself, your health, and Dr. Fab Mancini.
Christman Family Chiropractic, a creating wellness center located at 2310 Churchville Road, Suite C in Bel Air, is enhancing lives through the power of a chiropractic adjustment. As a licensed chiropractor in Maryland and Pennsylvania, Dr. Evan Christman can correct damage from years of lifestyle stresses while educating you to maintain good health for your lifetime. A dedicated professional with a very special focus on children with learning differences and autism, Dr. Christman treats people of all ages: newborn babies, children, pregnant women, families, seniors, and professional golfers. Isn't it time for you to reclaim your life? Take your first step toward health and vitality today. Call Christman Family Chiropractic, a creating wellness center, at 410-734-4060 and let their experienced staff show you how to restore the flow of life. 410-734-4060 or check them out at restorelifeflow.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman. And I'm so excited you're with us today. We're here to empower you, your friends, your family, and your loved ones to be healthy and well naturally. And today we're talking to one of the most amazing chiropractors in the world. His name is Dr. Fab Mancini. Dr. Fab, welcome back to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman.
Thank you, Michelle.
You are welcome. So, Dr. Fab, tell me, you have written an amazing book, The Power of Self-Healing. Tell me about that, and what are some of the golden nuggets that are so important for our community and our world to read and to learn?
Well, as you know, Michelle, this is my fourth book, and this book was very personal to me because I dedicated it to my father. And my father, unfortunately, was raised smoking and drinking early on in his life, didn't exercise as much as he needed to, and then unfortunately we lost my dad at the age of 64 to lung cancer. And one of the things that happened before the lung cancer is that he had a surgical procedure that went wrong, and it wasn't actually needed, and it created some problems in his body. So he lived in a hospital for over 3.5 years, and then had 21 surgeries because of that one surgery that was not properly done. And I started realizing that, Harvard University just posted 2 years ago that over 50% of Americans are going bankrupt every year because of health issues. And that is just not right. I mean, I think that the problem is that most of us are trying to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And unfortunately, drugs and surgery are not the answer to today's health problems. And more natural means have found to be very effective. And not only in back pain, I mean, we know that chiropractic is far superior for back pain. So if you're experiencing back pain right now, you definitely want to go to a chiropractor. But what most people don't realize is that there is so much evidence to support the fact that the body can heal from the inside out. So what I did, Michelle, is I spent 25 years researching all the latest evidence of how the body heals physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And what I did is that I went out and asked many of my friends that are medical doctors, chiropractors, osteopaths, physical therapists, and I said, would you introduce me to your patients that had a natural healing experience when you expected that they weren't going to heal? And I started getting all these amazing stories of people that were healing because they were changing their nutrition, because they went to a chiropractor, because they started praying, all these things. So I put together this book for the purpose of making people understand and empower them, and that's why I call it The Power of Self-Healing, that the power is in the fact that you have a choice, and you can make a choice today that is going to either allow you to be healthier, like going to see a chiropractor, or it's not going to make you healthier, and it's going to make make that your quality of life is not what you want it to be. And then I created a 21-day program in order to help people be able to implement what I just taught them in the first 3 chapters, and be able to do it in a simple way where every day they do something healthy physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and within 21 days, which is what most researchers say that it takes to build a habit, then what my hope is that you get to build a habit for life.
Wow, and that is so powerful. One of the things that I've been learning over time is that it takes discipline. It takes for you to begin to love yourself again. And I've been fortunate. I have been in a chiropractor's office for the last, it'll be 16 years now. So I have watched children who have come in, who have autism, that haven't been able to speak ever in their life, to walk ever in their life. I watched, through the power of that chiropractic adjustment, them speak for the first time ever, walk for the first time ever. I've witnessed gentlemen in their 70s who had Coca-Cola bottle, rim glasses, and have a hard time seeing. I've watched through being adjusted. I've watched them being able to see, and they come into my practice with no glasses on. I remember a gentleman that came in, actually two gentlemen, with canes that could barely walk. After being adjusted by my husband, they can walk. I have one cane hanging on my practice wall. Another gentleman, I remember him coming in. He's a wonderful guy. He's in his 70s, and he used to come in. He had the cane, and he was hobbling along. After being adjusted for a bit of time, I started to notice his shirt was unbuttoned, maybe 2 or 3 buttons, and he had this swagger in his walk, and his hair was done, and he looked really put together, and his cane was gone. And I said to my husband, Dr. Evan, I said, babe, I think his cane's gone. He said, yeah, I know. He's not using it anymore. He can walk. And that built his self-esteem up. It's like Rosie. We never really know what may be happening in somebody's life or what they're thinking or what they may be about to do. But the reality is chiropractic's about health. Chiropractic's about healing. And the power of the body to heal is so beautiful. And your book is not only so amazing, but how can people not only learn more about you, learn more about your book, but also have that taste of what thousands of people have experienced throughout the world with chiropractic?
Well, one of the main things is that I put a website together, which is drfabmancini.com, drfabmancini.com. And in that is where you can go and just put your name and email address, and you'll get this gift of a 2-hour of my best tips. This was a lecture that I did in front of 3,000 people for my publisher, Hay House, and I share the latest tips on how you can begin to self-heal. And then it also shares with you all these amazing stories of how people are going to chiropractic and getting help, but also some great stories about what are some of the foods that you should be eating, and what are some of the supplements that really make a difference, and what are some of the emotions that can help you heal and how to deal with that, and also how to regain a spiritual life. There's a lot of people right now that are kind of lost, and then you get a newsletter every 2 weeks that gives you a lot of the great tips of what I share in my learning, but also it gives you the links to all the TV shows, the radio shows, the public speaking that I do. So in case you missed it, you can just kind of go there. And this is my way to just connect with people, to remind them that health is a journey and that the choices that you're making right now are very critical. My dad made some very poor choices, and even though the last 30 years of his life he didn't smoke, that early smoking in his life ended up killing him with lung cancer. Wow. And I just want to make sure that people understand that our choices today, they're going to have consequences in the future. And I know we live in a society that everybody wants the quick fix. Everybody wants the instant gratification. But I promise you that the health is the greatest investment that you can make. And if you have never, ever experienced chiropractic, or perhaps you experienced chiropractic but it was very quick and did not give you the outcome you wanted, please consider going again and finding somebody that actually can help you be able to regain that health that you so desperately want.
Wow, I love that. And, I think that's such an important message. Dr. Fab Mancini, what's your final message after all the experience you've had over these years, all the amazing journeys you've taken through chiropractic and throughout the world? What's that final message? Why should somebody show up in a chiropractor's office to be well now?
Well, the most important message that I have right now is that how we respond to life is what determines the outcome of our life. And sometimes we can't control things that happen to us. Sometimes we're dealing with circumstances or health issues that you just find yourself there. But how you respond to it. And the number one thing is to understand that you're not your disease. You're an individual. You're a person. And you're a person that has a nervous system within you that has the capability of helping you restore health and heal properly. And when you go visit a chiropractic office, now that person, that individual doctor, is going to help you be able to restore that nervous system so it can function properly and allow you to heal the way you were designed to heal naturally. And that's really the best thing that I can tell you is you're worth it. And if you haven't given yourself permission or you don't think you're worth it or being healthy, please think again, because you know what? Everyone around you depends on you. And when you take care of your health, now you're taking care of everything in your life, whether it's the loved ones around you, your business, your friends. Everything in your life is impacted by your health. And that's what we want to make sure, that your health is one of your top priorities of life.
Wow. That is such a powerful message. And I've got to tell you, there's so much information that rings true on that. And I'm grateful and thankful to not only have you on our show today, but also to have been able to learn so much more for myself, for our community, and for the world. And I want to thank you so much, Dr. Fab.
Thank you, Michelle. It's been a pleasure so much, and you honor me by inviting me to come and share with you.
Oh, you are welcome, and you're such a blessing. And you are listening live every single Saturday to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman. And I've got to tell you, we have some of the most amazing chiropractors in the world. And many people may say that at the end of the day, this is a show where they can learn, where they can grow, where they can be the best they can ever be in their whole entire health. It's so important to invest in your family, your friends, your children. The most important is invest in yourself. You only live one life. You only have one health. Please do so. Make sure you not only tune in live, but also Dr. Fab Mancini has that amazing book. Make sure that you also sign up for his email, because he's absolutely wonderful. And you're listening live every Saturday to Wake Up to Wellness with Michelle Christman on WAMD 970 AM, WYRE, WKHZ, and you can watch me on www.khztv.com. Again, thanks for your time. Take great care of your health.